push that. Look at it, I bet you wishing you could clutch that. That's just the way you like it, huh? You're so good, he just wishing he could bite it, huh? Never turn down nothing. Slaying these hoes, go trigger on a gun like
I'm so fancy. You already know I'm in the fast lane. From LA to Tokyo, I'm so fancy. Can't you taste this gold? Remember my name, hot to blow.
Who that? Gigi Wop. Say do that. Gigi Wop. Who that? Gigi Wop.
riders walking then for our final Nations Cup here of the week, the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final. What a great 4 days it's been, to be fair. It's a pre-Euro horse, Axel Valoy, and his team's Young Riders Nations Cup. Belgium, Great Britain, USA, France, Denmark and Sweden made it to the final this year. Of course, remembering it's from those 11 qualifiers during the year, come to the final 6 to battle it out this afternoon. Distance to the track set by Mr. Ralph Suarez and his excellent team is 450 metres. It calculates to a time allowed of 72 seconds. Thank you, riders. The arena is now closed for inspection.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome back to Centaur Park in Belgium, where the stage is now set in the Ashford Farm Arena for the start of the last of our classes here this week. It's been a busy 4 days of top international sport, but it is now time to host the final of the FEI Young Riders Nations Cup final. For the Young Riders, 450 metres the length of the track with a speed requirement of 375 metres per minute equates to a time allowed of 72 seconds. The qualifier held on Thursday this week saw 11 nations come forward, 6 gained qualification for the final here today, and there's Belgium, Great Britain, the United States of America, France, Denmark and Sweden that will be coming forward to battle it out for the gold medal position at the top of the leaderboard. All nations start on 0. In the traditional Nations Cup format, we see the best 3 individual scores combined from each team to comprise that final team result. In the event of a team that ties for first place with an equality of faults, they'll be coming back to jump a shortened course against the clock. That happened with the juniors earlier on this afternoon, but may also be happening for the young riders as well. We wish them all the very best of luck as the stage once again set by Great Britain's Rafael Suarez and the Netherlands' Marco de Jong and Rens van der Gem, with Bart Hendricks of Belgium as well. 12 fences, 15 jumping efforts, the time allowed again of 72 seconds, and Belgium get us started. It's Rick Darret's team that first comes forward, of Jules van Hodnog and Minute van de Bishop, the first for Belgium. Comes now down that final line, the first of the riders in the Young Rider final, the Pathfinder of Jules van Hodnog and Minter van de Bishop. It is a time of 72.70 on the clock. It's one commenced second over the time allowed of 72 seconds. Combine that with the 8 jumping penalties, see them with a total of 9. The best 3 scores that count from each team, and Jennifer Billington will hope to get Great Britain off to a good start with Flipper Darko UKZ, part of the junior European team that just missed out on a podium finish in Spain back in July last year and have been really showing their form back home in the United Kingdom, contesting in the ranking classes in the south of the country in the last few weeks and months. Already picked up top 2 finishes with us here this week. Finished on the podium in the Nations Cup Grand Prix for the young riders on Friday. So knows what it takes to jump clear around Raf Suarez's tracks. It's a good start for the first of 4 for Great Britain, Jennifer Billington and Flipper Darko UKZ. A huge leap over the water for Jennifer Billington. And Flipper Darko UKZ makes the turn to the final line that has fences 10, 11, AB and 12. got to have the adjustability through that, especially with the double combination that's situated between 10 and 12. And clear it is for jumping in 72.47. Certainly didn't seem to be wasting much time at all around the track. Under those FEI rules, the ground jury have the first 3 riders in which to decide whether the time allowed is appropriate. But I imagine it's going to be unlikely we'll see them adjust that time allowed. There's time yet though, with Virginia Bonney forward now for the United States of America. The rider who spent a considerable portion of the year jumping at Spruce Meadows in Canada, following some real success in the under-25 classes in Wellington. The last time we saw this rider on the Nations Cup Series was in the juniors in Kronenberg back in 2021. So great to have Virginia back out on the Nations Cups, now upper category into the young riders.
Stars.
68.36 shows that the time allowed of 72 seconds can certainly be achieved, but it is for jumping faults for the first of the riders from the United States of America, Virginia Bonney and FOD, for faults in 68.36. 6 nations in total in this young rider final for the Nations Cup competition, and it's over to France we go with Eden Leprevos-Brunelli-Berten and the French pair Beukers-Diamant, the same pairing that are out jumping in Deauville, back in their home country of France just last month, taking placings in the 4-star competitions there. Could this be the first clear inside the time allowed? Eden Leprevos-Brunelli-Berten and Beukers-Diamant. The final fence goes. They are inside the time allowed, but 4 faults goes on the card for the first of the 4 French riders in this Young Rider Nations Cup final, with Denmark coming next to put their mark on the competition. This is the team that finished second in the qualifier. They start in reverse order of merit in the final. Laura Bargin-Kajigad and Consult Picabello Z. Laura, who's been in the top 6 on many an occasion already this week. The most recent finish yesterday in the under-25 Grand Prix with King Valentino Z. Another for the Zangerscheider stables, it's Consult Picabello Z for Laura Bargin-Kajigad for Denmark.
Makes me feel alive. I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Lately, I've been losing sleep,
Can we get our first clear round from Denmark? Through the double combination, they'll have to push on. The time could be tight here for Laura Barling, Kajagard and Consult Picabello Z. It certainly is. 0.1 of a time penalty over the time allowed of 72 seconds. Sees at one time on their card. There's 3 riders still to go though for Denmark. And it's the best 3 scores that count, with Sweden's Bita Emlin and Obsession Knight coming next. Bita, who provided Team Sweden with 1 of 2 clear rounds in the qualifier on Thursday. Sweden, who won that qualifier and therefore the last to go in the final. We'll actually be seeing Anna Stadling come forward as part of Team Sweden in the final, who wasn't actually part of the qualifying team on Thursday. And that's okay, because the chef d'équipes at the start of the week declare 5 riders for the National Federation, and they're able to select then a team of 4 from those declared 5 riders, so they can really play to their strengths. Less than 20 seconds to get home. To the final line comes Sweden's Bita Emlin and Obsession Knight. Clear so far, with the time ticking on though. 375 metres per minute, the speed requirement for the young riders. And 71.46 does indeed make it our first clear round of the competition. Was in great form in the qualifier on Thursday and has already been placed in other international classes this week at Centaur Park. The good form continues for Bita, the good form continues for Sweden. But what can Belgium do as they're next up? The first of their 4 riders had 2 down and 1 time penalty. So I'm sure Lig Dayet, the chef d'équipe, has spoken to the team ringside and discussed shaving off the all-important seconds, because those time penalties can be costly. Certainly was in the Challenge Cup competitions yesterday, and if you've missed any of that, you can watch it all back on demand via Clip My Horse TV. This is though the second for Belgium. It's Leon Bousset and on time Van der Elschuva. Could be heading into time penalties again. They certainly are. Leon Brichet and on-time Van der Elschuva, the second rider for Belgium that's picked up 1 time penalty. It is clear for jumping though, and it means that Belgium could be finishing on a best potential score of 1, with 2 more riders still to come. But now to Lauren Caroline and Gate L, the pairing who were riding to some top 10 placings on the Longines Global Champions Tour in London back in August. Gate L, the 12-year-old KWPN mare by Zambezi TN. Lauren also a member of the team that took the bronze medal position at Gola Minore in July. Full jumping faults it is for the second of our riders for Great Britain, 70-75, and the last goes to. So for now becomes the disregarded score, but there are 2 more riders to come for Great Britain, and the next is up for the United States of America. Virginia Bonney picks up 4 jumping faults. Can Bailey McKeever give Team USA their first clear round on Formidable? Bailey, the rider that took the individual title at the FEI North American Youth Championships only a month ago for the young riders, jumping the only clear round in the first round of competition. Team USA is certainly still waiting for their clear round in this Young Rider Nations Cup final. Through the treble combination there at 6 ABC, they've got another of the combination fences to go on the opposite side of the arena at 11 AB. It is into time penalties, and it's proving influential for the young riders as Bailey McKeever jumps clear for jumping but picks up 3 time as they stop the clock in 74-72. Means that the United States of America could have a best potential finish of 3. That's if Alexander Alston and Augusta Iwasaki jump clear rounds and go inside the time. So very much all to play for, and we'll have a much better idea of the potential finish places and who will be in contention for a medal once the third of the 4 riders has jumped for each nation. Too early to tell, really, with France coming next. France, who sit 3rd in the final standings. In Europe for the young riders, Germany in 2nd, Belgium leading, who've picked up 2 wins on the series already. They were winning here at Centaur Park back in April, and then in Zuidveld of the Netherlands in June as well. France, who had some of their best results in Italy and their home Nations Cup of Compiègne as well back in the month of April. Jean-Alexandre Legras and Cachemire de Lebon, they are the second to go for France, and another nation that are looking for their first clear round.
He's got a daughter he calls Easter. She was born on a Tuesday night.
10 seconds to get home for France's Jean-Alexandre Legras and Cachemire de Lebon. And the last goes, sadly, 4 jumping faults in 69-61. Sees France now with a best potential finish score of 4, but as I said earlier, too early to tell how that will influence the final rankings in this Young Rider Nations Cup final, with Denmark next up. Josephine Sengad-Morup and Riddle Quiz jumped to a 5th place finish in the Steph Horse Trucks Small Tour Special just yesterday. And with Decimili Edition, another one of Josephine's international rides, had a win in the Small Tour for the young riders on Friday. Will this be another one of our top quality rounds this week? Josephine Sangad Morup and riddle quiz for Denmark.
I've been swimming in a sea of anarchy. I've been living on coffee and nicotine. I've been wondering if all the things I've seen were ever real, were ever really happening. Every day is a winding road.
Regains the balance for the double combination on the final line and to the final fence. It's Denmark's Josephine Sangad Morup and riddle quiz who go clear. And in a time of 69.88, sees Denmark jump to the top of the leaderboard, the only nation that at this stage of the competition could finish on a score of 0. Alongside that of Sweden as well, with Emma Stadling coming forward next on Kolla Fjellkammer the first. Emma, who wasn't part of the qualifying team on Thursday, has been jumping in the Nation Cup Grand Prix, but is now joining Team Sweden to give them a fighting chance in the final. Certainly been holding her own over in Norway, picking up wins on the international circuit and also winning at the Nations Cup in May. And nearly 4 faults for that of Emma Stadling. Could still see though Sweden finish on a score of 0, but that would require Philip Svitzer and Matilda Bolin also to go clear. The pressure really on now for all our 6 teams. Is a total of 8 there for Sweden's Emma Stadling and Kolla Fjellkammer the first, 69.54 the time, 2 down, with Evelyn Putters next and Nabio van het Mikleveld Z. We go to rider number 3 of each of our 6 nations that qualify for the Young Rider Nations Cup final. The other 5 that started on Thursday's qualifier who didn't make it through to the final contested in the Challenge Cup competitions just yesterday. But all eyes very much on this Young Rider final. Clear round would see Belgium remain in contention, and clear round it is in 68.55. The first true clear we've seen from Rick Derritt's Belgium team. So a clear round from their final rider would see them quite possibly finish on a score of 1, with Great Britain's Ava Vernon up now, hoping to give Great Britain a shot at the podium. Ava, who made her championship debut in 2021, took individual gold and team bronze at the Junior European Championships out in Villamora. Volney de Chalk said the 11-year-old Dutch-bred mare by Vivaldi du Seigneur got some all-important mileage at the start of the year, contesting in the 4-star classes in Bejer de la Frontera of Spain. So the time will be held, and 6 seconds added for Ava Vernon and Volney de Chalk Z. Refusal with the disturbance at the A element of that treble. So it doesn't just incur the jumping penalties, but time as well. And once rebuilt, they'll have the bell again, and they'll come back round to represent. Shakes things up a little bit, that for Great Britain. Because for now, Lauren Caroline and Gatel are the discarded score on 8, but the additional 6 seconds to the time of Ava Vernon could very well see her head into time penalties that might surpass that score of 8. But only time will tell. A bit more to jump yet for her. So as thought, does go into time penalties. 4 of those, in fact, for Great Britain's Ava Vernon and Volney de Chalk Z. 75.19 is where they stop the clock. So it does become the disregarded score at this stage, with Isaac Ketteridge still to jump for Great Britain. Alexander Alston, though, is next up for the United States of America on Kyoki. Alex, who's been jumping out recently at Bridgehampton in New York in the 2-star classes. Some strong clear rounds at the height of 1.40 m for this young man. And another member of Team USA who's had much success in the world of equitation and hunter classes, winning at the Gladstone Cup Junior Hunter Finals.
Alexander Alston on track then for the United States of America. 4 faults on day 1, 4 and 3 from the previous riders.
This is looking strong for the United States of America, a much needed clear round. And it certainly is, in a time of 70.46. Gives the United States of America the opportunity to finish on a best potential score of 3, with Augusta Iwasaki being their final of 4 riders in that team. And to France we go. Oliver Bost's team. William Ligier de Raprade and Galilee forward now to jump Great Britain's Rafael Suarez's track of 12 fences and 15 jumping efforts. William, who was out jumping into 5th in Friday's competition in the Young Rider Small Tour. Will we get more clear rounds from him for France? France's William Ligier de la Prade and Galilee stop the clock in 69.15. It is a clear round for them, providing the only clear round that we've seen from France in this Young Rider Nations Cup final. With Jules Orsolini still to jump. But we look next to Denmark, and it is that of Mr. Pettersen and Vinchel that come next. The same partnership that finished second place in the Young Rider Nations Cup individual competition on Thursday weren't actually part of the qualifying team in the team competition. But again, to reiterate that they don't have to be. It's the team that qualify, and the team declare 5 riders at the start of the week. They can cherry pick from those. But Denmark and Sweden could both be finishing on a score of 0. May very well have a jump-off scenario once again. That will only happen, though, if we've got a tie for first place with an equality of jumping faults. It's unlikely, but also thought it was unlikely as well for the juniors, and that went to a jump-off. Final time of 93.11. 16 for jumping, 22 for time for Mr. Pettersen and Vinchel of Denmark. Acts now as the disregarded score, with both Denmark and Belgium on a best potential finish score of 1. It's Sweden that could be taking the gold medal spot, with eyes now focusing on Philip Svitzer and Alida Naik. Once Philip has jumped, we'll have a really strong look and a much better understanding of the potential finish positions in the competition. Philip, who was jumping to the top spot on the podium in yesterday's Young Rider Small Tour on Exclusive. Will it give us clear round number 2 for Sweden? To the final fence, Sweden's Philip Svitzer and Alida Naik. It is clear in 68.74, and Sweden remain on a best potential finish score of 0. Could be hearing the national anthem of Sweden ringing out across Centaur Park in the next 20 minutes. As we go now to the final rider for each of the 6 nations that qualified for the Young Rider Nations Cup final out here in Belgium. Mathieu Baudieu and Oscar de Homage come next. Belgium, who could be finishing on 1, so could Denmark as well. Will come down to the very last to go. Could be tight on time here. Mathieu Baudouin and Oscar Diamage. It is indeed tight on time because they stopped the clock in 72.01. 4 for jumping, 1 for time. So Belgium finish with a total score of 6 in 2:13.42. To Great Britain next though, and their final rider is that of Isaac Ketteridge and Hurricane VDL. That's some really busy months this year, especially that in July, competing in France in the 3 and 4 star Grand Prix. And in fact, the same partnership that finished in the placings in the 6 star competition in the Yev. France seems to be the stomping ground at the moment for Isaac Ketteridge, as he also took team bronze in the Young Rider Nations Cup on Galerius. Hurricane VDL was the rider he brings forward to this Nations Cup Young Rider final. Safely over the last in 72.30. Isaac Ketteridge and Hurricane VDL for Great Britain. They jumping 1 time in 72.30. With Augusto Iwasaki coming next on Fresca for the United States of America. Augusto, who was part of the gold medal winning team at the North American Youth Championships in Traverse City just last month, and has been contesting strongly in Florida in the under-25 classes. The final rider for the USA, Augusto Iwasaki, Fresca. Alexander Alston went clear for the United States of America, and with 10 seconds to get home, can Augusto Iwasaki do the same? Spoke too soon because the B element of the double on the final line goes down. 71.07. 4 jumping faults it is. So the USA finish with a total of 7 in 2:13.54. With France now. France, who could find themselves in the top 3. If Jules Orsolini can go clear, there's a little bit of wiggle room in respects to time. But clear for jumping and for time would certainly be France's best bet. Charlotte 198, Jules Orsolini. So the 4 faults on the card for Jules Orsolini and Charlotte 198 have changed things quite a bit in the ranking, with Belgium and the United States of America coming into the mix and an additional 4 penalties too. So he's then finished on a total of 8 in 70.25, does become the disregarded score for France, who finish on 8 in 209.31. France going to 5th, the United States of America 4th, Belgium are in 3rd. But we look to the last 2 nations, Denmark and Sweden. Denmark are currently on a best potential finish of 1. Sweden are the only team that could be finishing on 0. It comes to Theodor Lind and Crystal for Denmark. The time is fine. The jumping looks good. A's clear, B's clear. There's 1 to go for Theodor Lind, and Kristal doesn't want to hang around though. 71.6, so it is clear for Denmark. He finished on a score of 1 in 213.58. That puts them into 2nd. But now we turn to Sweden. They are the last nation to come forward in the Young Rider Nation Cup final here at Centaur Park in Belgium. The likelihood of a jump-off is incredibly unlikely. If a rail comes down, it will be Denmark that take it, and Sweden that finish 2nd. But if they're last to go, Mathilde Berlin and Domino van der Zuthiva have 1-time penalty. In fact, that's not the case because it's on jumping penalties, and jumping penalties alone. So we'll have to see how the competition pans out in regards to a jump-off. It is clear in 67 seconds. Matilda Bolin and Domino van der Zuthiva. What a run for Sweden. It's been 3 of the F4 riders producing clear rounds in this Young Rider Nations Cup final. That is absolutely tremendous.
Denmark takes 2nd with 1-time penalty, and moving up the order into 3rd is Belgium on the podium with 6.
So let's take a look at the result. It's been absolutely fabulous to watch all these young riders over the last few days. They've been jumping in Challenge Cups, in Grand Prix, and now in the Nations Cup final. It is a confirmed result. There will be no jump-off. Sweden in the gold medal position. Denmark takes silver, and it's Belgium in bronze. Thank you so much for joining us here on FEI TV. If you've missed any of the action, you can watch it all back on demand. We'll leave you now, though, with arena commentator Matt Millen. He'll be taking you through the presentation of awards.
It's a celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on and celebrate tonight. 'Cause everything's gonna be alright. Let's celebrate. Celebrate good times. Come on.
Congratulations to all 6 teams making it through to the final, and a very congratulations to a team from Sweden. Ladies and gentlemen, in celebration of the win of the Young Riders Pre-Euro Horse Nations Cup, we invite you to be upstanding as we play the national anthem of the winning country, Sweden. and congratulations to Team Sweden taking the victory. Working forward, Hede Masson, the representation from the FEI, and of course our foreign judge for the to Team